Hey VC, VSpeak68 here. I'm just responding to Loonacy4's thread, being that it's his first thread, and this will be my first response to a thread, and I really liked the questions that he asked. Um, the first one was, what albums came out when the year you were born? Well, luckily for me, I was born in 1968, and there was a lot of staple albums that came out. Rock and roll really kind of started hitting its peak, in my opinion, and to where we're at now. First one I'm going to show. Most people probably seen this, have it. If you don't get it, it's a staple to have in your collection. Desiree Dreams by Cream. Uh, what more can you say about this album? It is just an all-around awesome album to have. Second one is from one of the biggest groups of that era, in my opinion, outside of the Beatles and some of the. This group today still has a huge cult following, in my opinion. I know from having teenage kids and young adults that are heavily into this band also. The Doors, Waiting for the Sun. This came out in 1968. What can you say? It's the Doors. Another album that I don't hear too many people talk about this group too much, and they actually did a lot of really good music in the day. Simon and Garfunkel's Bookends, from 1968 also. If you don't have this, my gosh, people, you can pick this up for pennies on the dollar, and a lot of times you'll find it at a Goodwill. But it's an excellent album. Another one that's one of my favorite, American Woman by the Guess Who. This is another group to me that's kind of reminiscent of the Doors in a way. Just an awesome album, great music. And the big daddy of them all that came out in 1968, the Beatles' White Album. Need I say anything more about that? This is a numbered copy. It does have everything from it has the poster, it has all the photos. Covers a little on for where vinyl's in excellent condition. What was it here? Oh, records that are better on vinyl. Saying that I grew up at a younger age listening to vinyl prominently, and then kind of went the way of the cassette and CD. There are certain albums that I've noticed, even listening to the CDs when I was younger, that just didn't sound the same. But the convenience of CDs at the time, everybody was going to them. Here's one album that I actually got the variant covers of it. Scorpions' Love at First Sting. Sorry about the glare. Try to turn a little bit. The other one cover for this album, which is my favorite. I mean, you got to look at that. You can't tell me that's just not a sexy album cover. That's got to be one of the just romantic, sexiest covers you could ever find. Probably my favorite album. I had this when I was a child. This is a sealed copy here. Styx Cornerstone. Probably one of my first rock and roll albums I ever owned or purchased on my own. I know a lot of people don't give Styx enough credit. Really give them a try. A lot of the music, if you stay off mainstream and listen to some of the other songs on the albums, they're very good. But I definitely could tell the difference between CD and vinyl on that one, especially after I got back into picking up vinyl and all that vinyl that I had lost years ago and listening to it. You could just automatically go right back to telling the difference. Another one, Prince, 1999. A lot of these albums are coming from my youth, and they're easier for me to compare because I had them on vinyl, I had them on CD. Next couple that I got, well, next three. Here's another one. I actually had this on cassette and CD when I was younger. Got it on vinyl, and just blows me away when it's on vinyl. 5150 by Van Halen. The next two, we start tripping into the 90s. Vinyl wasn't very, you didn't see it very much anymore. If anything, it was in bargain bins, even at Best Buy, and it was going out for 99 cents. A lot of people just ignored it and let it go to the wayside. CDs were taking over. Both of these I had on CD, but I recently purchased them. They're not originals, but they sound excellent on vinyl, and there's no what else can you say about it. One of my staple albums, The Vinyl's Nevermind. I mean, gotta love this album. It was an album for its time, and nobody, in my opinion, has really done what this album could do as far as in the modern era of music. Outside of maybe this album, which is pretty close, which is Pearl Jam's 10. Kinda, let's see if I can hold it up. This is the double LP, 180 gram vinyl. Shop there. This has the redos and also the original tracks. Excellent album. What other question did we have? Oh, weirdest things you ever done for music? Oh boy, the weirdest thing I ever did was, I don't know if you call it weird, but it was kind of like Loonacy's story with Craigslist. I did something similar to that. Now I wasn't out that early in the morning going to buy a record. But I did wake up. It was on a Saturday morning. And I just come across one of those free ads on Craigslist, and some guy, free albums, come get the box. So I live outside of Columbus, probably a good 30 minutes away. Jumped in my car, still wearing my slippers. We just got right out of bed, seen the ad, and jumped in my car and went. Drove down to this gentleman's house. He had a garage sale the weekend before, and evidently somebody, a friend of his, brought in a couple boxes of vinyl albums, and all these albums were mainly disco, funk. There was some major, albums, but a lot of dance music, and evidently in promos, a lot of 12-inch singles. What I found out down the road, and actually after looking at some of the albums, this belonged to a guy who evidently was a DJ at some radio station in the past, and he brought them over to sell them at his buddy's garage sale, and they just didn't sell. So I said, "Oh, what the heck?" I picked them up, put them in my car, brought them home, cleaned up what I wanted. Actually, some of them I put up on eBay and made a little bit of money so I could go turn around and go buy what I wanted. I know a lot of people don't like dealing with eBay. eBay's okay. I don't normally go out hunting for records so I can turn around and turn a profit on them unless I come across something like that. Funny thing was, most of the albums that I did sell went out of the country. Believe it or not, I had some albums. Oh, we sent them to Spain. Had some go to England. One lot went to France. Most of them went to Europe. I think I had one or two that went to Japan. And that's back when I started getting back into collecting the records, and I was blown away at what some of these albums went for. I can't remember them off the top of my head. Like I said, mostly funk and disco, but it was interesting to watch when I sold these where they were going around the world, and just kind of see how people in different areas will buy different types of music, and even music that's older that maybe over there that's getting popular now, and they never had the experience of it before. I mean, it's just so interesting, especially since being in this community and meeting all these people from around the world and seeing the taste in music and how everybody's comments, and it's just such a warm feeling to know that you have so many people around the world that are at the same kind of interest you do. So, a Loonacy4, great thread. Just wanted to put my 2 bits in. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later.